Hi! Today I'm going to demonstrate for you how to make my handmade haunted house Halloween card with the Stampin' Up! Everything Essential stamp set. Handmade haunted house Halloween card. Well, isn't that a mouthful? I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 19 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand stamped smiles. So I'll be using the Everything Essential stamp set with the coordinating Essential Tag Punch. Here's a closer view of the Everything Essential stamp set and the coordinating Essential Tag Punch that we'll be using for my handmade haunted house Halloween card. And when you order the two of these together using special bundle item number I've listed right here, you'll save 10% on both. We'll also be using the new Stampin' cut and emboss machine to emboss with the, oh look at this, the Cobwebs 3D embossing folder. But I'm also excited because I just got my new magnetic cutting plate. I'm going to show you, we're going to demonstrate with the Coming Home stamp set. Let me show you. Here's the Coming Home stamp set and the coordinating Home Together dies. All right. These are both from the August through December 2020 Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. But this is a special stamp set in that, look, when you come, you see with the purchase of the Coming Home stamp set, but of course you'll want the bundle, $3 for everyone that is purchased will go to charities devoted to adoption, foster care, and infertility, no matter what market you're in. And so here, this is what I was telling you, always look for the bundle discount. So look for those, whatever page you're on. And you'll have to look for the little logo. It could have a different color in it, you know, that starburst. But look for that if you see stamps and dies, or in this case, stamp and a punch, if there's a bundle discount, because saving 10% on both is fabulous. And like I said, with the purchase of this, $3 will go to one of those charities. So let me grab my new Stampin' die cut and emboss machine so we can see the new magnetic cutting plate in action, as well as do some embossing. So here's the new Stampin' cut and emboss machine, available to order now in my online store. And look how little room that'll take on your shelf. So let me turn it. That handle is so comfortable. And this is how it takes a little room. We just pull these down when we're ready to use them. Isn't that great? So we will start with the embossing because I have something kind of cool to show you about that too. All right, so for embossing with a 3D embossing folder, now we just need to look, when I'm telling you sandwiches with the Stampin' die cut emboss machine, the number. So we'll start with the base plate, which is number 1. Okay, and then we have our embossing folder. We need to put the cardstock in. So this is what happened. I wanted to make a window card with this punch. All right, so I thought, okay, but when I slid in my gorgeous great cardstock, my tag was going to be upside down. I thought, well, dadgummit, it was such a cool idea. Well, I decided I still wanted to do it. So here's what I'm going to do. First, whenever you're using one of the 3D embossing folders, if you missed the cardstock, you get an even deeper impression. So you can use water, and you'll really like using the Stampin' Spritzer because it's a really fine mist. So you can use water. I prefer using rubbing alcohol, and I use 91%. It dries very quickly, so I still get the benefits, but it dries quickly, and but the benefit of being liquid. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am making another piece. So I'm going to do this too. This is how I'm going to still make my window card. I'm going to place it where I want it on here. There we go. And into our embossing folder. So look for the Stampin' Up! Logo. That will be the embossed side. That's what we want. If you do it the other way, it'll be debossed, is the best I can say that. So I'm looking for the embossed side. So I'm going to place this on here. Okay. Center that a little bit better. And then we'll put it hinge side first. Now, whenever using a 3D embossing folder, you want to use the specialty plate. That's number 4. So we don't need a cutting pad on the bottom, but this is a little bit thicker than a cutting pad, specially designed. And so now we've got those lined up, and we'll crank this through. There we go. And that just goes so smoothly. So pleased. All right. And so now I emboss both of those at the same time, but look, when I layer this, it's going to line up. How cool is that? Okay, so now let's do a little bit of a change, and we'll start with plate number 1 because we're going to do the die cutting with the new magnetic cutting plate. And so then we need number 2. Okay, this is going to build it up to be thick enough for the thin dies. And then here we go, number 5, the magnetic cutting plate. The entire surface is a magnet. We're not chasing around looking for a magnet. Love it. And it's a self-healing mat. So this becomes our cutting pad as well as a magnetic plate. Beyond excited about that. So I stamped one of the houses, and then we need the die. Here we go. And so since we don't need one of those acrylic cutting pads, we're not trying to, you know, because we'd have to make sure it was flat and trying to get the magnet to work through that. This is the cutting pad. So now I just love the Stampin' Up! Dies because the dies fit to the image. So you just fit it to the image instead of trying to balance that white space around. And then you finish with, here we go, number 3, a cutting pad. All right, so we'll place that on top. And let's see this in action. No more tape to hold it down, no more magnets to chase around. Oh my goodness, and a cutting pad that's self-healing. So I'm thinking we're going to save a lot of money because we won't be constantly replacing cutting pads. Oh, look at that. It didn't move at all. I am becoming a better die cutter than ever with the new magnetic cutting plate. You'll absolutely want this when you pick up the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. The embossing is done, and now we're ready to stamp. So what I have here is Whisper White cardstock. Whenever you stamp on white or cream cardstock, you'll want to use either the Whisper White or the Very Vanilla cardstock. It has a smooth, tight finish to get a crisp, clean image, and that's what we're after when we're stamping. So here is the haunted house. Oh, my husband and I just have always loved going to haunted houses. And I thought, oh my goodness, how cute is that? So what I have here is Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. I will be doing a little bit of coloring with the Stampin' Blends. So if you're going to use the alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends, you want to use the Tuxedo Black. If you don't, the Memento pad, if you don't, I did try some others, the lines just disappear. Yeah, that's what we're going for. So let's give this a good inking. You know, the way the card turned out, I didn't need them, but I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have to get out a different stamp set for more bats. Well, there are more bats in here. So I'm like, oh my goodness, that's fantastic. We can do it all with one stamp set. So I'm stamping my pieces extra big, but it'll work out really well because it gives me something to hang on to when I'm centering in the punch, and then I can turn around, still have something to hang on to, and use the other side. So there we go. Oh, that looks so good. It looks so spooky. And our tag punch. And so what I love about the Stampin' Up! Punches coordinating, we can, look, stamp and then center in there, see what we're doing, and then punch. Because to try to punch first and then stamp, yeah, right. Well, not for me. There are probably people that are really talented and could do that all day long, but I just like this so much better. And look how cute that is. So see, I've got room. I'll be able to stamp on the other side and still have room to do that. That's going to work out beautifully as I'm making a whole lot of these because this is my September 20 thank you card for people who place an order of $50 or more with me. All right, so we're just talking about the Stampin' Blends. Here we go. I have the Highland Heather. This time I'm going to start with the dark. They come in sets, so you get the light and dark. And the two different tips, I'm going to use the smaller tip because I'm going to color this banner. So what I was thinking about is where the shadow would be. So right where this ribbon, right there, that would create a shadow. Right there, it would create a shadow here. And so that's what I was thinking about for my shading There we go. And then just because the light would be hitting. All right, so we've got that. And now I'll use, I think I'll just stay with the smaller tip because I definitely want that over here. And so in silhouette, but this little bit of color is going to look great with our gorgeous grape. Purple being one of the Halloween colors. I could have done an orange, but I think this looks fabulous. Okay, and color this in. Doesn't that look good? That little bit of shading to where the shadow would have hit with the two coordinating colors. Very nice. Love it. All right. And you can leave some white. As you can see, I have a hard time doing that. And then I thought, okay, so the light is coming through the window, so I have the Daffodil Stampin' Blends. And I'm sure I chose dark. No, I chose light. Okay. So either you'll get both when you order them. And that little bit, doesn't that just add a lot to it? Really cool. So this was my workaround because I couldn't get what I wanted, you know, it was upside down. So I just made this other one that's going to line up perfectly because we did them together. So now I just need to put this in here. There we go. And punch. And now I have my window. And this is lining up perfectly. How cool is this? All right, so what I'm going to do is, because I just really like the idea of the window, so I want it raised up. So I have my black Stampin' Dimensionals combo pack. So I have the regular size and the mini all in one package. And these are honeycombed in. And I'm using the black because from the side then, because they're dark like the cardstock, it wouldn't be so obvious as it would be if you saw a white dimensional. Okay, there we go. Very nice. So we still take our thumbnail. Look, this is even easier to see on the dark. How pressing down makes that paper pop up, making these really easy to peel off. Such a simple little thing. And we'll line this up so it's a continuous, isn't that cool? A continuous design, but I still have the look that I wanted. And actually, it's even, I like it even better because of the pop-up. Now, this has an awful lot of texture where the Stampin' Seal works great, but if I have any texture, that's why I pull out my mini glue dots. They're just super strong. There we go. And look at that. So now I have this great window and I know where to line this up. Oh, I'm glad I'm making this look so easy. And it created a bit of a shadow around it, which was cool when it was placed down. Here, let me get my paper snips. There we go. I had to even though I made the card, I thought, did I get black cardstock behind there? Because it looks so good. Like, nope. Just the being raised up created, like I said, a bit of a shadow. I just want to poke that down in there. That's all. Okay, there. See that shadow that's creating? It almost looks like black cardstock behind there. And speaking of black cardstock, there we go. I'll layer this on here again with mini glue dots because of the texture. And then the Stampin' Seal. All right, I put my finger, there aren't ridges there, but it's a roughed up area. And an inch in each corner will do the trick. And I put this on Highland Heather. I tried the whole thing on black, I tried white, and then I thought, wait a minute, I use Highland Heather to color, even though my the embossed cardstock is in gorgeous grape, but of course they look gorgeous together. So with a couple mini glue dots, look at that. Didn't that turn out really cool? And I'll have a link to my blog post with this card and all the measurements, so if you'd like to duplicate it. And there you go, my handmade haunted house Halloween card with the Everything Essential stamp set and the Essential Tag Punch. If you'd like to make my handmade haunted house Halloween card, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And when you place your September 2020 Stampin' Up! Order of $50 or more with me, I'm going to send you one of my, are you ready, handmade haunted house Halloween cards. So get on over now to my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamp smiles. Thanks for watching.